Bukayo Saka vs Phil Foden. Bukayo Saka or Phil Foden? Twitter thread sparks debate over which is the better player. Bukayo Saka and Phil Foden are two of English football's brightest young talents, but which player has the better all-round game? Foden has continued to develop under Pep Guardiola and is now a regular starter Premier League leaders Manchester City, while Saka has arguably been Arsenal's player of the season, helping the Gunners into contention for the top four with a string of impressive performances. The pair both featured for England in the summer as the Three Lions reached the final of Euro 2020, and comparisons continue to be made between the two young stars. A newly published Twitter thread has now sparked debate over which is the better player, and it's sure to divide opinion. Twitter user Nothing got football fans talking on Monday with an initial post, which read, "Saka v Foden is a weird one. Foden is the greatest technical talent of his generation in England. He's also a top talent, physically. It is however possible for Saka to outshine him, as we saw during the Euros, because Saka himself is the best mental talent of his generation." The fan then proceeds to list supposed strengths and weaknesses in both players, praising Saka for his technical ability, great physical prowess and world-class mentality, and Foden for world-class technical quality and top-of-the-line physicality. The Twitter user goes on to state that the two youngsters play different roles for their clubs and are not competing for the same spot in England's team. Foden should be playing the 10 role behind Saka and Raheem Sterling for England, they added. However, the thread has sparked fierce debate between Manchester City and Arsenal fans over which is the better player. The fan then proceeds to list supposed strengths and weaknesses in both players, praising Saka for his technical ability, great physical prowess and world-class mentality, and Foden for world-class technical quality and top-of-the-line physicality. The Twitter user goes on to state that the two youngsters play different roles for their clubs and are not competing for the same spot in England's team. Foden should be playing the 10 role behind Saka and Raheem Sterling for England, they added. However, the thread has sparked fierce debate between Manchester City and Arsenal fans over which is the better player. Gabby Agbonlahor has explained why he would pick Arsenal forward Bukayo Saka over David Beckham. Former Aston Villa striker Agbonlahor, who has called out Arsenal on numerous occasions this season, was full of praise for the informed Saka during his latest appearance on talkSPORT. In fact, the 36-year-old former England international says the Gunners' forward has more of an all-round game than Beckham, who enjoyed a trophy-laden career with the likes of Manchester United and Arsenal. "I'd pick Saka over Beckham if I could pick an England team. I said it during the World Cup, would have Saka over Beckham," Agbonlahor said. "When I saw Saka at the World Cup, he was outstanding. In the Euros just gone as well, he was outstanding. Kept Phil Foden out of the team. If I'm picking my best England team, I'm having Saka on that right-hand side. Pace, scores goals, more of an all-round game. Can take players on, score goals, get assists as well. I'm picking Saka." Saka, who impressed for England at the 2022 World Cup, scoring 3 times for the Three Lions, has carried on that form for Arsenal in recent months. You could even argue that his performances are a key reason behind their Premier League title push, but would you pick Saka over Beckham? Many have praised Saka in recent months, including former Reading manager Paul Ince, who recently tipped the 21-year-old for the Ballon d'Or. "I always say to myself, if Antony is worth £80 million plus, then imagine if Ryan Giggs was playing, he'd be worth £200 million, he told Premier League Odds. Antony is a very good player, but the way Bukayo Saka is playing right now is frightening. The penalty miss at the Euros seems to have really spurred him on. Saka is going to be one of the best players in the world. Saka is the go-to guy for Arsenal and he will only get better. Without a doubt he will be challenging for Ballon d'Or titles. He can do that in the next 2 years. If the Ballon d'Or was awarded now, he would be in the running because he's been stupendous and long may it continue. Topics: Bukayo Saka, Arsenal, Premier League, England. Gabriel Agbonlahor. Phil Foden says his teammates don't understand his odd hobby. Phil Foden claims that his fellow footballers, including teammates at Manchester City, don't really understand his odd hobby. On the football pitch, there are few players who have the ability to do what Foden does when he's at his best, and even fewer of those who are 22 years old. Such is his brilliance, and potential to be even better, that it's been claimed that he is the Messiah, and even has more potential than Lionel Messi had, which may be a bit of a stretch. Ahead of last year's World Cup, Foden did tell Sport Bible his performances in an England shirt could be better, and he certainly upped them during the tournament. However, since returning from the tournament his form has dipped, which is something that Pep Guardiola actually predicted would happen. Whilst the manager understands that part of the Stockport-born forward's life, he may be one of several who doesn't get Foden's hobby of choice. Speaking to the City website, the player revealed he loves fishing, saying, "Probably about 95% of the football lads don't enjoy it. The odd one likes fishing, so when people find out they say, 'What a weird sport to enjoy.' They don't understand why you enjoy it. Obviously, they need to go and try it. I think it's the perfect hobby to rest your legs and have some downtime." The 22-year-old also stated that his dad got him into fishing at a young age, with the pair still very much enjoying the pastime. In fact, according to Foden, they regularly embark on trips across the UK and even Spain to set their lines in new waters. He even missed the club's celebrations when they won the Premier League in 2018, due to a pre-planned trip between the pair, that the star stuck to. Foden has been out injured of the previous 2 games for Guardiola's side, although could return to the fold for the game against Tottenham Hotspur at the weekend. They'll be looking for a big win against Antonio Conte's team, as they continue to attempt to keep pressure on league leaders Arsenal, with more predictions now claiming they won't do it. Win or lose, you'll probably find Foden fishing somewhere come the end of the season. Man City really like Bukayo Saka and have monitored Arsenal star. Manchester City really like Bukayo Saka and have monitored the Arsenal superstar, according to stunning reports. Saka has been in sensational form for club and country, having starred for England at the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. He's shown for Arsenal this season as they mount a Premier League title challenge, scoring 8 goals in all competitions this campaign. The 21-year-old is under contract at the Emirates until 2024 after they triggered a clause in his deal to keep him at the club for an additional year. But the Gunners are hoping to tie him down to a long-term contract as they look to hold on to one of their prized assets. However, it appears Man City could test Arsenal's resolve, with reports claiming that the Blues really like Saka and have monitored him. That's according to Ben Jacobs, who says the talented forward wants to stay in London, but wants terms that reflect his form and progression. Read more, Transfer Deadline Day Live, latest news and rumors ahead of tonight's 11 p.m. deadline. Pep Guardiola hailed Saka as one of the toughest opponents in the Premier League as he praised Nathan Ake for keeping him quiet in their FA Cup win over Arsenal last Friday. "What a season he's playing," the Man City boss said of Ake's duel with Saka. "He controlled one of the toughest opponents in the Premier League. Saka is having an incredible moment. He's really good in duels in the box, set pieces, defending the far post, extra bonus. An exceptional lovely guy. Last season when he wasn't playing, never complains once, always was really good." Man City's reported interest of Saka comes after they are on the verge of offloading João Cancelo, who is set to sign for Bayern Munich. Cancelo has barely featured for Man City since the season resumed following the World Cup, with a loan deal away from the club on the cards. A deal includes an option to buy the Portuguese international for £61.5 million. Topics: Bukayo Saka, Arsenal, Manchester City, Football Bukayo Saka the only Arsenal player who would be in invincible team according to member of that team. Bukayo Saka has been named as the only member of Arsenal's current team who could get into their Invincibles side by a member of that 2003-2004 side. When Arsenal won the league without losing a single game during the entire Premier League campaign, no one would have expected them to wait too much longer to add to their title count. The Gunners made it to 49 games altogether without losing, before eventually succumbing to then fierce rivals Manchester United, in a game dubbed Battle of the Buffet, with Mike Riley's scandalous referee performance still a bone of contention. After that, the North London side have never won the title again, only